Hello everyone, and it's good to be back. By this time in the program, you've likely had a few bumps in the road and a few tough sessions. It's important to keep in mind that we are on a journey together to work out what the obstacles for team sport might be for your child. We often can't work this out if things run smoothly all the time, so hopefully we're one step closer to your goals. It's also important to remember that we all have tough days. Jessie will often say that they all have tough training sessions, and even though therapy can and should look like fun, your child is very often being challenged outside of their comfort zones in the session, and finding their just right challenge can be tricky. Usually, these sessions that are tough have something to do with emotions and regulation, and you may have seen anger, frustration, disappointment, or fear, and often that could look or lead to some behavior that may not have been okay. As adults and as parents, it is so very natural to want to protect our child from negative emotions and also protect ourselves from how this situation makes us feel too. I want you to know that Sense Rugby is a safe space, and we are here to help you work through that. So where do we start? Firstly, like I said, I want you to know that Sense Rugby is the place where you work through this without judgment from others and also from the therapist. Your OT is the person that is here for you to chat about the strategies, and the parents around you are probably worried about the same things that you are. There may be situations where we will ask you to remove your child, support them, or keep them separate while they calm down. This is not because we want to exclude anyone. It is because we're actively trying to respect what your child is communicating and also keeping the safe space for everyone too. In these situations, communication between yourself and your OT is vital to ensure that we're all supporting each other the best we can. Secondly, you may also have action plans in place with your treating health professionals to deal with these situations. If you do, follow those and let your therapist know that you've got this and you can deal with this. Consistency is king for long-term change, and your OT will really want to make sure that we are making sure that we're implementing all of those plans consistently across the different environments that your child finds himself in. If they don't have an action plan in place, let's follow the following steps. Always preempt it if you can. If you see your child is escalating and in need of a break, remove them from the situation, give them a drink of water, a squish, or a quiet moment with yourself to co-regulate. Explain to your child before the session that you will be his or her buddy in the session to make sure they understand that they may occasionally take breaks. If your child tends to get too excited, explain that you're the keep things fun buddy. If your child tends to get anxious, offer them the opportunity to return back to you if they need support or a break from the intensity of the session. Knowing it's there when they need it can be enough sometimes. If they do use it, they need your full, undivided attention for that time. It is not the time to necessarily implement strict disciplining or saying to your child, we're going to leave if they keep a certain behavior up, but they do need to know that there's certain boundaries within the sessions, especially alongside the safety of other children and themselves as well. So making sure that they understand that they will be removed if things go too far, but that's their time to calm their body down, can be a really, really good way to address the situation. Okay, the second step will be to take a moment to be what we like to call still in the emotion with your child. Label the feeling that they're feeling, hear them without interruption or argument, acknowledge that feeling and validate it. So it might be a feeling that we don't necessarily like or agree with. It might be anger, it might be, it might be a lot of feelings that it doesn't look appropriate in this situation, but that's okay. You may need to say to them, you look really angry and I can see that you're angry. You may need to narrate what happened. So yes, I saw that your friend scored all the tries and I can see that made you angry. There's a lot of power in just letting the emotion be processed with someone who's there with you and supporting you for a minute, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment. Avoid using questions, disciplining, or using this heated moment to teach things like being a good sport. This may be an appropriate chat for later that afternoon when your child's not surrounded by peers, and also when your child is calm. When your child is dysregulated, it's really important to remember that that part of the brain that processes learning and rational thoughts and, being able to reflect on what's happening, it's not working. He or she is in the fight, fright, flight zone, and nothing that we say from a learning point of view will go in at that point in time. The third step is to allow for a sensory outlet. So something like, if you need to, I can see a few things there that might help you feel better. There's a crash mat or a quiet spot with a tree. You can give me a cuddle. Anything that you know from our previous work helps your child to calm down. That's enough from me today, but I really want to encourage you to read an article by Janet Lansbury online, as it explains things so beautifully. I will include it on the resources page for our team, and it will be entitled, Why We Should Let Our Kids Be Sore Losers. Have a great week, everyone.